Welcome back to the live coverage of BCS 24-25 World Finals here in Japan. I'm Randall, aka Shizukats.
And I'm Ian.
And we do have a couple answers for those trivia questions that we did see in the last couple breaks. So the answer to the first question, which was the first English booster set to be on the 12-pack format, was Frieren Beyond Journey's End. And for the second trivia question, how many SP rarity cards are there in all of the products of Goddess of Victory Nikkei? And the answer to that one was 45. 40 from the booster set and 5 from the trial deck.
So many.
That's kind of what you get from a gacha game set,
yeah,
right?
True.
There's a lot of characters you got to give sign cards to.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're going to jump into round 3 in just a sec. We have a really exciting matchup today. So on one side, we have Avatar: The Last Airbender, one of our English original sets. And on the other side, we have Pixar, which is a set that I'm not used to being legal in English. So.
Oh, is it like an Asia exclusive set?
Mm-hmm.
I think it was only released in like Singapore or something.
I believe it was like Singapore, Philippines, Malaysia, and like one other country. So
yeah.
like 4 countries total. So it's definitely not a set that you see very often if you don't live in any of those areas. And I'm just really excited to see the deck in action today.
Yeah, me too. I haven't read up too much about it, but we'll do our best to make sure that we can provide coverage on this one.
Okay, if this is the Climax lineup, I think it is, then yeah, it's the 4-1-3 deck. So I should be able to fill you in if you have any questions.
Okay.
Okay, so I believe our players are ready to go. Let's see if we can send it over to them.
Okay. Then let's head in right away.
All right. So it's going to be 1-2 cancel on the left, going up against Fresh Cabbage on the right. Fresh Cabbage being a player that I'm personally familiar with. He is a California player. And 1-2 cancel from Indonesia.
Isn't it funny how the Indonesian player is playing the English exclusive deck and the
American player
is playing the Asia exclusive one?
That's a pretty interesting flip. We're flipping the script here. Okay, so we don't know who's going first and no mulligans yet, but I guess we can just go into a quick description about the Pixar deck for Ian, as well as... So let's see. Yeah, so basically the way this deck works is we have the level 1 combo here. So this card says by resonating with the level 3, you can discard a character, and search your deck for 2 characters. So it's kind of like Yuki from Sword Art Online, but without having to pay stock, which is really, really powerful. And this all happens when the Climax is placed, and the Climax is one of the comeback triggers, the 4 of.
It's the cars.
Yeah. The level 3 Climax combo is the Buzz and Woody. It's a level 3 8k, goes up to 11k if you fulfill the trait condition of the board, on play heal. And the Climax combo is kind of like Drago Buster Millum from That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, if you were familiar with that card. So Drago Buster Millum let you look at the top 7 cards of your opponent's deck, and then depending on how many Climaxes you see, you shuffle their deck and you clock that many cards off the top. This one looks at 6 cards instead.
But it's a little bit cheaper than...
This is a pay 1, discard a Pixar character from your hand. So, and then the...
What about the other cars combo? Is it like...
Yeah, so this is... So the other...
The resonate target?
The one of is the resonance target and can also be used as a finisher if you happen to have that Climax. It is a free summoner, and it has pay 1, discard 2 to burn 3, and then stack a card from your opponent's waiting room on top of their deck. So you could potentially chain the free summons into each other, which saves you a lot of stock, but ironically, this combo does actually require a lot of cards in hand.
Right.
To resolve multiple copies. So hopefully we'll get into our game soon. You have any other questions about some of the cards in this set, Ian?
No, I think we'll figure it out along the way. Oh, so we only have 1 copy of the other Dora Combat Climax for the level 3.
It's kind of just like a if it comes up sort of thing, because you are running that level 3 anyway for Resonate. Like the intended build was probably just to run 4 of each of the cards combos for an 8 comeback deck, but in this case we will have a 4-1-3 split instead. And we are seeing 2 choice climaxes mulligan here for Fresh Cabbage. That is not a fantastic start, but Fresh Cabbage will be going first.
Yeah, and going first is always great, just to have the first attack. Being able to set up your first stock for your second turn.
Yes. So our first card here is going to be the Nemo Marlin Dory. This is an on play and on death salvage Ricky. Ricky being like a type of effect where you pay a stock and take a damage in order to gain card advantage. We'll be reiterating that throughout the day, but if we do say Ricky, just know that that is basically what that shorthand is for. So I believe this was the first ever on play on death salvage Ricky profile ever printed in the game. So it's a very powerful card. It can even get itself if it dies.
Oh, that's kind of strong.
And
So
then
it's a pretty good turn 0 play, or a first turn play then.
it can double as a turn 2 play as well.
Yeah.
If you play a different character, get a stock from your first turn, and then you play Nemo Marlin Dory on the second turn, and you can follow up with that effect. And the other ability of this card is on attack, it can like choose a trigger from the top 2, just like the a lot of the Nino cards that we saw in the previous game.
Oh, and Avatar seems like it's playing the
8 standby
list. So we're seeing a lot of new lists over here. Everyone has been innovating a little bit. It does seem to be running the...
Yeah, so 8 standby. The 8 standby deck is notable for its double dragons combo at level 2, which allows you to put 2 very powerful bodies onto the board, and then also shrink your opponent's higher level characters into smaller ones.
And then also running the Zuko level 3 climax combo. I feel like in the past we used to see the treasure level 1 and the standby for Azula a lot more.
Which is actually the same standby as this level 3 Zuko. It's the same
right.
standby, yeah.
Yeah, but they're not playing the Azula at all.
Well, you do need the Ty Lee. Space is kind of tight, and Zuko needs an Iroh, and Azula needs Ty Lee. Space a bit tight. You can't necessarily fit both into a single deck. So we see 2 copies of the Zuko here on play. This one also has a salvage Ricky type effect, where
That's
on
only
play
based on from hand, right?
Yeah, this one's only on play from hand. You pay 1, you get to choose which card you want to clock from the top 3 cards of your deck, put the other 2 into the waiting room, and then you get to salvage a character. Although we did see 2 direct attacks here. So the Zukos have an on play, you can mill 1 effect, and if that card is a character, you get 2k power. Interesting that we did not go for the front attack into the Dory here. But we are going straight to level 1 with help from the Dory, and immediately using a copy of this 1-0 event, Run Like the Wind Bullseye. This one is a Brainstorm flip top 3, count the number of Pixar characters among them, and you can salvage a character of that level or lower. So, going to be able to grab this level 0 Sully. This card on play gives all of the opposing characters in the front row minus 500 power. And then also, when placed on stage from hand, you can discard a card and sack one of your characters on stage in order to search your deck for a Pixar character. So it's kind of like a drop searcher, but instead of paying a stock, you sack one of your characters on stage. So it can be a good way to convert extra characters if you have them lying around and you want to play new options. And it can also be used to like proc the Dory by sending it to waiting room and activating its on-death effect.
It's a very interesting card because, like, the minus 500 to all characters on center stage, that sounds devastating against some decks.
Like, it would have been really good in the Nazarick matchup last game where we had 2 500 power Ions in the front row. If you just pop this down against them, it's like, well, all right.
Yeah.
I just lost so much advantage.
Going into Avatar's second turn with
4 standbys? 4 standbys in hand.
4 standbys in hand, but still stuck at level 0. So he would really like to be able to standby out some level 2s, but alas.
What he would really like to do here is play one of those Zukos that he played on the first turn, because those ones would be able to clock him up to level 1 and allow him to do just that, standby out level 2 characters.
I think right now he's trying to hit a Brainstorm to find one of the Zukos back, but unfortunately he did not hit. And it doesn't seem like he has that many level 0 characters in his hand. to be able to contest this board.
It looks like just the one, the level 0 Iroh. I believe this has an effect that bounces itself back to hand when you play a climax in order to give some sort of benefit. Yeah. But we're not going to be seeing it bounce back to hand. We're just going to be seeing it used as an attacker while the... There's not a great selection of level 0s to choose from, and I don't think there are like any level 1s at all to choose from.
Yeah, I wonder if he's actually playing level 1 targets.
Yeah, we have a few, but I just don't think any of them are in the waiting room. So we're going to see the My Brainstorm coming out here. This is a search brainstorm as opposed to the level 0 Toph that we already see on the board, which is a salvage brainstorm. And one attack is going to be coming out here into the Sully, which is only a 500 power character.
Only one attack. This has to be huge for Fresh Cabbage.
Mm-hmm. I can imagine right now Fresh Cabbage is thinking to himself, man, I ditched 2 choice climaxes in my opener and I'm not getting punished very hard for it.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
So this is a level 0 drop searcher.
It does seem like he's still not doing his level 1 climax combo here.
I feel like you don't need to.
No, definitely not.
You retained so many bodies on board throughout this level 0 game just due to your opponent not attacking into them.
Mm-hmm.
Like the first turn it was 2 direct swings. This turn it's just 1 front attack and 2 lanes that didn't even have an attacker.
Yeah, and even next turn I kind of can't imagine how 1-2 Cancel is planning to be able to contest the board from there. There's like so many climaxes in hand, so few characters that actually can do some form of board presence here. He's getting a memory.
Yeah, so this is a level 0. It like sends itself to memory to salvage the specific card, which would be the... I believe it salvages the level 3 that you need for... No, it salvages the level 1 combo.
Oh wow, that's really good then.
Yeah.
And it's also a runner. Oh no?
Oh, this was... Oh, that's why it was... that way it was double directs on the first turn. I've completely forgot about this effect. Yeah, it chooses one of your opponent's front row characters and moves it to an open slot, so wasn't able to contest that Dory, Nemo, and Marlin on the first turn.
Oh, and it does seem like he's going for a combo turn this turn around.
Well, the advantage of going for the combo here would be to thin the deck out, right? Try to make it easier for canceling on the upcoming turn. Get 4 guaranteed non-climax cards out of the deck. Mm-hmm. And I imagine we're just going to be grabbing additional copies of the level 1 combo for a follow-up combo turn, which is exactly what we're seeing here. As far as that other card that was searched and immediately discarded, it's just kind of like, I know I'm not going to need this, so I'll just search it and then use it as discard fodder for the second copy.
Mm-hmm. And especially if you already have the second climax in hand, I'm not sure if he already has one.
Well, we know he has 2 comebacks because he had 2 in his hand, but we just don't know which 2. I'm going to assume that it's both level 1 combo with this line of play, though.
You would like to play out at least one of them right now, then. Oh. And he does find a comeback trigger off the top.
So this is the level 1 combo again.
Yeah. Oh, and then 1-2 Cancel finding a cancel off the top. Despite having so many climaxes in... Oh, but not one on the direct attack.
See, now here's an interesting question. How much do you really want to cancel here? Because the line that 1-2 Cancel has gone for is double Brainstorm back row. But the more you cancel, the less you can hit your Brainstorms to actually find usable things.
Yeah, but like, if he becomes level 2, he can also start early playing... Oh,
I mean, I think you take those, right?
Yeah. I mean, you don't need any stock at all for that combo, right? Or do you?
You do have to pay additional... you pay 1, discard 1, and then you sacrifice the climax to summon the second copy. But
so he only had 2 stock, so he wouldn't be able to double standby that out.
Well, this is when it's brought out by the climax,
yeah.
So you would only be able to do one of that in a single turn anyway. Hand's still not looking great. I believe we have a level 3 Zuko, which isn't doing anything.
But we do get to salvage a card, right?
Yeah, we got the Zuko back, which 1-2 Cancel definitely wanted on the previous turn. You get to choose which of the 3 cards from the top you want to send to clock as part of the effect, and then you salvage any World of Avatar character from your waiting room, regardless of level.
There's not a huge power spike on level 1 for one to cancel it, I think. So it would just probably just be some kind of beater to be able to contest the board.
Yeah, I think against this board, probably what you want to go for is, if I remember correctly, this 1/1 Iroh cannot be reversed against cost zeros. Yeah. So maybe that would be the card that you want to go for here, just because you know that he knows that Fresh Cabbage is going to want to play more copies of the level 1 combo on the follow-up turn. But we are seeing
level 0 that can discard an a World Avatar card to draw a card, and sometimes goes to stock when the opponent cancels.
Right.
He might be looking for discard outlets, but it doesn't make sense because you cannot discard climaxes with that card.
Probably discarding like a level.
Well,
oh no!
Not
can't do that. I think he's about to read it.
Yeah.
Okay. There we go. We're probably going to have the judges get a quick ruling on that.
Yeah, there's a little bit of hidden information that is exposed right now, so we'll probably be getting some.
Okay. He didn't actually draw the card. Okay, there we go. Now he's drawing the card.
Oh yeah. So we solved it by drawing the card anyway.
Yeah. Okay, so the 1/1 Zuko here. This one has, if you have another World of Avatar character, this gets 1500 power, hand on core, and also pay 1 double trigger, also known colloquially as Twin Drive. And then whenever this card triggers a card with a Soul Trigger icon, it's going to gain extra power until the end of the opponent's next turn. So you can use that Twin Drive to potentially make this big enough that your opponent can't contest it on the follow-up turn.
If you trigger it, would make it a 7k?
Yeah, but if you trigger twice, 8k.
The biggest part being, of course, that it's just a 1/1 hand on core.
I feel like Fresh Cabbage definitely wanted to see at least one cancel on this turn, as it means that it usually means that he's not going to be going to level 2, although we are seeing a lot of Soul Triggers here, so let's see if Fresh Cabbage does end up going to level 2 in the end anyways. Okay, so the first trigger of the Twin Drive is going to be the 2/1 Aang. This is one of the most unique cards in all of Weiss for sure. If this card is triggered while you have one of 4 different climax types in play, it becomes the same climax type as the one you have in play. So in this case, you have a standby in play, he becomes a standby climax. It's kind of like a master of all elements flavor sort of thing, because each of the 4 climax types that he is compatible with is one of each color.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the coolest cards they have designed for the entire Avatar set.
I would say this is just a really cool card in the context of like all of Weiss Schwarz.
Yeah, sure.
Nothing in Weiss Schwarz has a like gain trigger effect that's like remotely like this. So what are we thinking about here? I believe Pixar has a level 1 anti-overlevel counter. Looks like it is not going to be used, and Fresh Cabbage is going to go to level 2, unfortunately. Oh, sorry. And yeah, there's the climax on the bottom of the deck that just got drawn.
Ooh, that's very unfortunate. Refreshing on level 2 in your first deck is not ideal. But I do think his compression is reasonable. Is it? He had 1 climax left in hand, 1 he triggered last turn.
And then the one that was drawn at the end of the deck.
And then 1 at the end of the deck, so it's like refreshing 5 right now. He will need to compress it a little bit more with his level 1 combo.
Yeah, on the upside, this is going to be a triple combo turn.
Yeah.
Because we have those 2 copies that were grabbed from the last turn. We have the 2 copies that were grabbed off the we have the 2 copies that grabbed off the combo. We have the one that survived the turn. And we just already have the climax ready to go.
Yeah, however, we are slowly approaching the power spikes of the Avatar deck on level 2 and level 3. So we will have to find out which of the 2 situations will be better.
Yeah, I feel like this deck in particular is not the most useful matchup to use those double dragons combo, because we're just playing with a bunch of like uncosted characters, just like cost 0 stuff that's just attacking.
Mm-hmm.
You would really like to use that against like a standby deck.
Yeah.
And here we're seeing the level 0 Ian and Barley and Laurel. Oh my god. This is from Onward. So I needed to double check because I haven't seen this film. But this card's obscenely powerful, by the way. So it has the on-play effect. You can choose one of your opponent's characters, and it cannot move until the end of the opponent's next turn. So we saw this being used on the level 2 Katara and Aang in the back row. So that card's not going to be doing anything. At the beginning of the opponent's attack phase, you can sack one of your other characters to move this card to a backstage slot. So it's a back row runner by sacking a character. Really useful for also just avoiding on reverse effects.
Mm-hmm.
And then the third effect, as if this card wasn't already done, you can pay 1, sack this, top 4 at a level 1 or higher, which can include events. Such a crazy package in one card.
Yeah, so first you sacrifice one of your characters to move as a back row, and then you can sacrifice it still to get some form of advantage out of it, or to basically for deck speed usually, right?
Yeah. Or even what you could do is you could just park this card in the back row like it is right now, and if the opponent has an on-reverse ability, even though the card is already in the back row, you can still pay the cost and just be like, nah, you're not reversing me today.
Oh, that is huge, actually.
It's not super relevant in this particular matchup because the Zuko restands on cancel, but in other matchups, like if you play against Nino, for instance, that has those 1-1 combos that on reverse let you salvage, if you have this in the front row with another character, you could just avoid 2 reverses at the same time. One by sacrificing one of your characters and one by running to the back row. Very, very powerful card. I'm a huge fan of this one ever since the first time I had it played against me. I was like, wow, this is a card of all time.
Yeah, it's so much text as well. So many good effects all in one. We do see 1-2 cancel going all the way up to 2-4 already.
And I believe this last copy of the Lightning McQueen and Doc in the top slot was not big enough. I believe it's 6,500 or 7,500 power after climax into the Zuko's 8K. So we did see a side attack into a cancel here. Now what we need to take a look at is the waiting room on the Avatar side. If we want to go for Dueling Dragons combo, we do need to actually have 2 copies of them in the waiting room. And with 1-2 cancel just having refreshed, I don't think we have a single copy.
That's a little bit unfortunate, but we do have a chance to brainstorm for one. We might see him commit to a brainstorm.
I believe one of the copies was just drawn, which doesn't really do anything unless you have some way to get it out of the hand.
Yeah. 2-2. Aang Katara also doesn't have hand encore, I believe. So
Yeah, this card, this 2-2 Aang Katara has the effect where when you play a climax, you choose two of your characters and they get that top check 2 choose trigger effect.
Oh, so it's even useful on the back row where it's locked right now.
Actually, yeah, this works from back row.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah. You would think that this effect only works in the front row, or like you would just want the card in the front row anyway.
Yeah, because it's such a big body. It's like 10-5 if you fulfill the condition.
So we are seeing another Dueling Dragon. Oh, we could actually see Dueling Dragons coming. No, I think this is just going to be... What are we doing here exactly? Oh, no, I see. There was one Dueling Dragons that was sent to waiting room off the Brainstorm, so we're going to bring it out.
Then discard the other one.
Pay 1, discard the other one. Wait.
Or not?
Are we not bringing out the second copy then? I guess not,
does
yeah.
Does he already have one?
No, I think he's just not bringing it out because he already has 2 attackers that are standing to work with. So maybe he's going to keep the other 2 copies for like follow-up.
Okay.
Potentially.
And now he still gets to shrink something.
So we're targeting one of the climax combos, one of the only legal targets because you cannot choose a level 0 character with that effect. You have to choose a level 1 or higher. You're going to be bringing out the Finding Nemo crew. Could potentially use that on-death ability to salvage a character if he so chooses.
Yeah, there's a lot of stock, and he might want to clock himself to level 3, but I don't really see like a high urgency for that right now. It might be useful if he actually takes a lot of damage and is forced to go for a big finisher.
I mean, here's the thing about the Buzz and Woody finisher is that it relies on your opponent having climaxes in their deck still in order to gain additional damage because that's how you get cards sent to clock. The thing is though, is that I think 1-2 cancels out like 6 now, as of that last trigger. So there's like 4 in waiting room, 1 in play, 1 in hand, I think. So the Buzz and Woody combo, not actually looking that good. Maybe if Fresh Cabbage wants to go for a finisher turn, he would want to go for the Cars finisher instead. And I think the Door Climax that is in hand is actually the one for the finisher.
Okay.
Is that another Climax?
He's playing around the Buzz Lightyear combo.
He's out 7 though. With these two standbys, going to be bringing out the Iroh and Zuko, which are the pieces that you need for the level 3 game, but we don't even have the level 3 Climax in hand. The Climax that's remaining in hand here is Dueling Dragons.
Right. We'll have to see how Fresh Cabbage and 1-2 Cancel are going to navigate this position. Fresh Cabbage is still at 2-5 right now.
I believe we still have the anti-overlevel counter on the table, which is going to be used. So that is the level 3 Climax, but he's getting rid of it.
Yeah, I think opting to go for a better compression next turn.
I wonder.
Or
a good cancel though.
Yeah. Staying on level 2 is pretty much perfect for when you invest the anti-change counter like that.
Yeah. Clocking level 3 finisher, I guess that makes sense considering that the Climax should just get discarded, and drawing into another copy of the level 1 combo, so we might see a third turn of level 1 combo in a row.
But does he still have the level 3 finisher in hand for the resume?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This was the one that was drawn off the top.
Right.
What is going to be the play now?
I think he's gesturing to go into the next deck. I don't know how many he's out currently.
Going to pay 1 sack to top 4 check. And we're grabbing the level 1 Bullseye event, which is going to allow for a little bit more milling, maybe some selective advantage, semi-selective advantage off of that event's ability.
It's kind of interesting because like the level 3 finisher from Avatar, it relies on cancelling, and those kinds of abilities are always so weird to calculate because like, do you want to compress more? Do you want to kind of just be at a safe life total and like be at like a medium compression? I never know what the better way to counter that kind of strategy or kind of ability is.
Well, I feel like the best metric to measure the on-cancel abilities by is how much payoff do they actually get if the attack gets canceled. If the benefit of the cancel effect is minor, like maybe like a burn 1 or a burn 2 or something like that, then you would definitely just like to cancel as much as possible.
Yeah.
But on certain other cards where you have a much higher benefit for canceling, then you would definitely want to have a mix of like canceling the swings and then also canceling the abilities that come after.
In this case, it's on cancel, you get to restand.
And with a lot of bonus soul, I believe, because the combo gives us soul. And Iroh gives the choose your trigger effect. Yeah.
And if you manage to trigger a soul trigger on the first attack, it actually sticks around until the end of turn, so that trigger you will be attacking for extra soul for the rest of the game, or for the rest of the turn.
Yeah.
Going up all the way to 3-3.
Now the 3-2 Zuko is an on-play healer, but that is the only healer in the deck, I believe. So will 1-2 cancel be able to get into a like healthier position from this point? I don't know if he had any copies of the level 3 Zuko in hand.
I don't think he had any copies of the Climax in hand either.
Fresh Cabbage going up to 3 off of that refresh point. Looks like the hand is mostly ready outside of having the climax for the combo.
Are there good ways to find the climax? Actually, don't really remember. Oh yeah, there's the Momo climax swap.
Oh, I was talking about the on the Pixar side. So
Pixar,
on Pixar, he has no climax in hand for potential level 3. We do have as an off finisher, though, we have the level 3 Incredibles. So this one is a on-play top-check burn, on-attack ditch 2 burn.
Okay,
so
double burn 1.
Solid off finisher. And I did spot a copy of it in Fresh Cabbage's hand.
Mm-hmm.
So even if no climax for either of these two finisher combos, we do at least have this as a baseline. And with 1-2 cancel being at such a high amount of damage, maybe this is enough to get the job done.
I would imagine so, but like it might depend on if 1-2 cancel is going to heal anymore with one of the level 3 Zukos.
Yeah, with only 3 stock left, though, even if you have 2 Zukos, you can play at most one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And it would bring you to 3-3, but then the refresh point that's going to happen immediately after would send you to right back to 3-4. Right.
Since he's already down to 3 cards, we'll definitely be taking a refresh damage at the end of this turn.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't seem too great for Avatar right now.
Mm-hmm.
There is one event card in this deck. There's an event counter.
Yeah.
It says mill the top 5 cards of your deck and deal X damage to your opponent. I wonder if we will be able to close out the game that way.
If Fresh Cabbage isn't careful and takes a lot of damage on this turn, then that could potentially be a problem. Oh, what a cancel!
Cancel on 4.
And another cancel. All right, well, Fresh Cabbage is chilling.
Okay, yep.
And these are the climaxes that he wants to be canceling with. He doesn't want to cancel with the choice climax because he wants to draw it.
Mm-hmm.
And you just cancel with all these comeback triggers that you don't need.
Fresh Cabbage in an amazing position going into level 3.
And then another thing that's really nice here is that the level 0 Dory that's on the board can use its on-death effect to, if we go into the Cars finisher, it could fuel the hand with its on-death effect to get another card out of the hand. Triple cancels, wow.
Ooh, does cancel with a choice trigger. He did want to draw into that one.
That's the level 3 climax.
Yeah, he finds the Cars climax, but not a choice one.
And we also drew into another Eve Brainstorm, so maybe we could go for double Brainstorm on this turn. Oh, we're going for Guido. So this is one of my favorite cards of all time. So you've seen Cars, right?
At some point.
Okay, so like this is like the one man like pit crew, the one man pit crew, and he says like pit stop, right? Mm-hmm. So what this card does is when you play it, you take the bottom 4 cards of your stock and you put them in your hand. It's like you're pulling the tire out from underneath the car, and then you replace them with any 4 cards from your hand, like you're putting in a new tire.
Uh-huh.
So you can kind of like, you can do some cool tricks with this card if you remember what's in your bottom 4 stock, or maybe you can trigger a climax, leave it there, get it later when you need it for level 3. You can do some really cool tricks with this card. So definitely one of my favorite cards. I love the flavor behind this little guy.
It's kind of funny because it's also like 4 cards, so it's like 4 tires at once.
Yeah. It is like 4 tires. Yeah. Here we're gonna see
really
the top check burn. It is going to land.
Mm-hmm. Did we find a choice? It doesn't look like it, right?
Oh, this dock has on play pay 1 salvage a climax.
Oh, yeah. Okay, we found a choice then.
And then additionally, if it's placed on stage and you have a full board, you get to refund a stock from your waiting room. Mm-hmm. So there you go. It's like another really nice card that helps out with this deck that's running 2 different finisher climaxes just to find exactly what it needs. And we're going to see double Buzz and Woody coming here.
Ooh.
And I believe Fresh Cabbage has enough hand to go for the burn 1 on the Incredibles into double combo.
Yeah, this sounds pretty hard to survive right now.
You have to reveal 0 climaxes, assuming the burn 1 sticks, right? You would have to reveal 0 climaxes in a top check 6 twice and then cancel twice.
Yeah, that seems pretty impossible. There's one
cancel burn 1
over there on the burn.
Okay.
We found a cancel.
Okay.
This definitely is a part of like how you can win this.
Yeah, so it's an end of attack effect on this. Cancels again.
Cancel
pay
here.
1, discard a character, top 6.
Do we see nothing?
Oh.
1, 2, 3.
Oh.
Four,
We're still
5.
going.
Nothing at all.
Wow. Top check 6 C0 climaxes is just what the doctor ordered. He still has to survive. He still has to survive one more attack and then reveal less than 2 climaxes off of the following top check 6. This is gonna be a crazy finish.
Also side attack there.
Oh, side for 1. Actually, no. That's exactly. You should definitely be siding for 1 here. Because if you side for 1, and then you only need to see 1 climax out of the top 6, and then you're good to go.
So do we see the side attack?
I definitely think side attacking is what you should be doing here.
Oh, but you check them and you shuffle them back in?
Yeah, but it's guaranteed clock from the top.
Okay, so all the whiffs that we just saw, they are not removed from the deck.
They're shuffled back, yeah. Which is good for 1-2 cancel. It's better for 1-2
good
cancel.
for 1 to cancel.
All right, so this should be a side attack. Oh, no, going for the front. Really?
Getting cancelled on 2.
I feel like
if it hits.
I feel like it should have been a side attack here. We need 2 climaxes. We need 2 climaxes.
No. There's only one. A side attack would have won the game.
Yeah, because we saw the second card on top of the deck was the
also
climax.
a climax.
Yeah. So it would have been stick 1 into clock 2 cards off the top. Okay, now the thing is that Fresh Cabbage is at 3-0 still, and I don't feel like 1-2 cancel has a lot to work with. The 3-2 Zuko got reversed. We have the wrong climax in hand. Oh boy. Okay, we have the right climax in hand, and we have a new Zuko coming in with the heal.
Oh, I think this is actually a reasonable position to be in.
Would you want the Zuko to be in the open slot or fronting into a character?
Keeping the soul for like the rest of the turn sounds kind of risky, especially
it would be a direct for 4 into a direct for 5, at least.
Yeah, and sometimes you trigger a climax and it's like more than that.
But what if he takes the Zuko swing? If he takes the Zuko swing and it leaves the other lanes open to be the ones getting canceled, so you don't get any on-cancel benefits, that could be disastrous as well. For 1-2 cancel, we see a standby. This is going to be swing for 3, so we have what? 3 plus 3 plus 2 right now?
Yeah.
Oh god. No cancel. You really want these non-Zuko swings to be canceling so that the Zuko can stick.
Yeah, it kind of depends on if this Zuko will be cancelled or not.
Alright, what are we looking at here?
I mean, you also don't want to be at 3-6 right now.
For 3?
For 3.
Wait, it's refresh point though.
Refresh.
Oh no. The bottom card of the deck.
Only 1 climax left in deck? This was such a close game for Fresh Cabbage.
Wow. Those cancels into the top check 6s, revealing no climax into 1 climax.
Wow. That was pretty much the exact, like, how you would stack the deck if you had the choice to.
Uh-huh.
It was, like, kind of perfect.
Mm-hmm. That was actually, like, the thing is that, like, going into that turn, you have Avatar already at such a high amount of damage with a lot of ping 1s and potentially these clock kick from top coming into play. I feel like if you asked like 100 Weiss players, they would say like, oh yeah, like most, if not all of them would be like, oh yeah, this is going to be like an end game here.
I mean, even without the entire climax combo, I was like, oh yeah, the level 3 ping 1, attack for 2, attack for 1, attack for 1. That already sounds pretty lethal.
Mm-hmm.
And then we also have the entire Buzz Lightyear combo.
Right. Yeah. I definitely think that like the side attack was definitely out of that whole turn the game-changing decision. The thing is that like it's so much easier to stick the 1. If you stick the 3, you don't need the combo anymore, right? But if you stick the 1, then you have such a high probability of the combo being able to throw 1 more card into the clock to close out the game.
Yeah, it's definitely a hard position to evaluate, especially considering there were already quite a few climaxes out after the first swings.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's pretty close.
Those cancels literally were like everything he could have asked for. Canceling the burn 1 was also really huge.
Yeah.
That could have been like disastrous. It opens up so many potential lethals. Like it turns the side for 1 into a lethal.
Mm-hmm.
But funnily enough, the burn 1 getting canceled was probably what eventually led to Fresh Cabbage not going for the side attack.
Right.
Been talking a lot lately. Wow.
Yeah. Wow. That was a very interesting game, though. I haven't seen both of these builds in play at all. Like, I have seen a little bit of the Standby Zuko before, but it never really seemed very impressive. But in this case, the finisher was pretty explosive.
It
was just a lot of soul.
From the Zuko side? Well, I mean, we didn't actually get to see the finisher come into play, right? It was just, it gained a soul off of playing the climax, and then the attack didn't get canceled. So
yeah. But that's, it's always with one of those on-cancel abilities that's like, oh yeah, I played around it by dying.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, and things were looking so good for Pixar, like the entire game.
Yeah.
Like a lot of cards surviving in the level 0 game. You got double combo into triple combo into combo, and then we had a really good end game as well. But unfortunately, the cancels were just in Avatar players' favor for this game. Okay. With that being said, we're going to go to a quick break before our interview with the round 3 winner, and we will see you guys in just a sec.
Yeah, we'll see you then.
How's it going, guys? We are back with our round 3 winner, 1-2 cancel.
Hello.
That was a nerve-wracking game, I bet.
I'm really nervous over there. Like, if you see the replay, there's so many much misplay I'm playing over there, and there's actually I got one warning.
The biggest thing though, like not from like any sort of like warning perspective, but like looking at your hand and the state like during the level 0 game was crazy.
Yeah, and I'm from that game. I really. How can I win this game? I'll just leave it being Weiss, as usual.
Yeah. The biggest thing that we were saying was like on your first turn when you played 2 Zukos and then ended at 0-5 on the follow-up turn, we were just saying, oh, I bet he would really like to have those Zukos that he played on the previous turn to level up.
Yes, exactly. Oh no, why I play Zuko on that turn?
Yeah.
But
that end game too, those cancels were literally in all the right places for you in the end game.
Yes. I have to say that, is it a plot armor?
Yeah, we were saying that on the cast, maybe on that last attack into your 2-2 Katara and Aang, maybe a side attack would have been better from your opponent's perspective. It would have been a side attack for 1, and then you have a lot less chances to reveal a climax for the cancel, and then if the 1 sticks, then you have 6 chances to reveal a climax off the top. Right? But in the end, even through all of that, you were able to come out with the win, so big congratulations on that. How are you feeling right now?
I can't say that I'm really happy about that game since, from our perspective as a player, win is a win. Yeah. But from how I play and from the progress of the game, I can't say that I'm quite happy. That I'm not really. I think I can play it more maximally like that. Yeah, I think I need much more room to improve for that game. Yeah,
so just take that game and then just move forward, more improvement.
Yeah, there's still much more match coming here, so we'll just play it again.
All right. So do you have any particular approach to the future games, or just like kind of just keep it all together and just take it one game at a time, pretty much?
Yeah, pretty much like that. I don't have really any plan with that. It's just your usual standby deck. They just go push through the damage and then you standby.
Lots of soul triggers actually in that deck as well. Right?
Yeah, there's no trick in that deck actually. Just push through, and then pray for the best.
All right, well, congratulations on your win. Yep. We do have our next trivia question for you guys in chat to answer, so let's go ahead and get that on screen real quick. So, which of these sets has a card with the longest card name in terms of how many characters are in its name? So, go ahead and let us know in chat which of these 4 titles you think has the longest card name, and we'll be back with the answer after our next break. So, thanks for watching for now, and we'll be back in just a few minutes.